Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Mirikitani with another episode of Weighing In. We're brought to you by Nike Wrestling. Go to athleteps.com for all of your Nike gear. By Resolite, the mat company. You saw them all over the place this last weekend. And by Pure and Clean Sports. And they were at almost all those events this last weekend. Best companies in the business to be partnered with. Joined today by both Mark Ostrander and Grant Turner. We have conference titles. We have another national championship coach on the podcast with us today. But Mark, I think we need to start with I won the Big Ten fantasy contest.
Yeah, next to Grant winning the nationals in AI, I think that's probably just barely beats out Grant winning the national title for like the 13th out of the last 14 years. But yeah, congratulations, David.
I couldn't even stick the
all
landing.
40-some guys, 42 guys, I think we're in it.
48.
48
and you did help me with the team. Okay. We did win. We did win.
We did win. But it was nip and tuck all the way down till the end. It was nip and tuck, right?
We did not have a Grandview margin of victory, GT. We won by 1.5 points.
Yeah, I saw that because I was sitting there at 9 and I'm 12 points behind.
Yeah, but there's a lot of goofy things that happen in these tournaments, especially backsides. Like the guys that really won it for us, Mark, was Keeter, and Keeter's 10. Well, Keeter and Sotelo, though, because they were 9s and 10s and placed 4 and 6.
Yeah.
And the guy that was right behind us had both Karchla and Pinto. So when they wrestled on the backside semi, they were guaranteed to win one of those. And we needed Ayala to win and Keeter to win, and they both won. So anyway, fun contest. Everything's, by the way, we're recording this Tuesday morning, so the wild cards will drop tonight. The brackets will drop tomorrow night. Let's start quickly with non-Division I stuff. NJCAAs were won by Indian Hills. Congratulations to those guys. The Collegiate Women's Championship was won by McKendree. Iowa was second. In Coralville looked like an amazing event. North Central was third. There's a controversy. I don't want to get into it. I talked to 2 referees that said, based on the rules, it's sort of a letter of the law versus spirit of the law about the biting situation. But GT, I don't travel as much as you do internationally, but I do get to a lot of the national level freestyle and greco events. Sammy Julian was the head of officials. You know how we say about a lot of people, they're as good as they get? Sammy Julian is literally as good as it gets as a wrestling official in the world, much less America. He's won, I believe the word's called the Golden Whistle, but without a doubt, one of the 10 best referees in the world. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah. And once again, he's a really good educator. He's done a really good job of like educating the U.S. officials as he goes and travels all over the world and getting stuff. Casey is another great one. Yeah. He's the one that is probably, I mean, there's a lot of really, really great officials that have gone and on to do the UWW Worlds, but I think Sammy really kind of was a leader in that. So, it's one of those things, like officiating is so hard in general, and a lot of that stuff is like arbitrary. He's really good at explaining on how the scoring goes. So
we'll very quickly summarize what happened. The girl got injured. She bit her own arm in pain. Official saw it. It was Danny Blackshear and called biting, which is brutality. It's like GT bit his own arm. I'm wrestling GT. They called it against me. It's a DQ for the whole tournament. And then it turned out the girl had a mouth guard in. So the actual interpretation is top and bottom teeth marks, because in a crossface you can get top or bottom, but usually both mean somebody bit down. And it was the quarterfinals. The girl that won didn't really want the woman that won didn't want her hand raised. It's such an arbitrary thing where a person bites themselves and then didn't mean to do it to get an advantage or just in pain. It's sort of a 1 in a million scenario. So, but we both know Danny GT and we both know Sammy. And, I'm going to err on the side of the judgment of those two guys. I remember when this rule came out about grounding, I pinged Sammy to see if he wanted to come on Match Chat. He's like, it hasn't been approved yet. He's like, David, once it's approved, we're happy to talk about it. But, I went through, he's always got an official answer that makes sense. You may not agree with it, but it makes sense. For another time, we will talk about what does and does not make sense about reaction time, because that decided a lot of matches this weekend. But off air, we said this, GT, congratulations. First year of the new coaching era there, the Henderson era, and you guys get it done. And I'm sure, shout out to Life with 11 All-Americans. They gave you guys a run for your money. I do not know what your social situation is, GT, and it's none of my business. But if you are single and ready to mingle, there's a couple photos of you excited and flexing that would certainly help your social media game.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you got the fitted shirt. You haven't skipped chest or shoulder day in a while.
Yeah, there's so big shout out to Todd Bailey and Doug Wells capturing a lot of those moments in the national tournament. They are some of the best in the business. Just really great guys. As far as the NAIA national championships are concerned, it's a great division. Really, really solid. The finals were electric. It was absolutely must-watch wrestling. Close matches, some falls, some just revenge match. Like the storylines were amazing. So huge shout out to the division. Of course, Omi and Jake and Coach Bailey down there at Life. They run a great program. They're great coaches. It's such a slim margin of victory every time that you get to go to the national tournament. Some things happen your way, some things don't. Clearly, we didn't come back with 10 champs, so we didn't do what we thought we wanted to do, right? We want to put 12 in the finals and 10 champs every year.
Listen, we all tease each other on this, but I've never been a head coach, GT, but I was my dad's assistant. Mark, you were a head coach. I think it's important for me to say this. Mark, I was at your house and looked at the level of consistency of you as a head coach. And the first year you took over, I think you took 9th. If I've got that off by a spot or two, I apologize. But then for 8, 9, 10-year run, 1st through 5th every year. And, you might argue the year you took 1st, maybe a call or two went your way, but there's probably a couple years you took 2nd or 3rd where you got some bad calls. I think it's consistency, right? Like you're always in the hunt, right? You're always there. You're always the number of All-Americans. We were doing the math on average, the number of conference champions. You won the conference every year. And that was a conference we were at, or district, whatever the right terminology is. But to be that consistent, and GT, we love you like our brother and we tease you off the air, but then consistency of what Grandview is doing, the consistency of what Life is doing to be pushing you guys. But the consistency of what Grandview is doing, that when you have like a 9 or 11 point margin at one point on Saturday morning, and we're like, ooh, this is surprising. Like that talks about the level of excellence that Nick Mitchell and now you guys are continuing, but you have established. And so sincere tip of the cap. I think not just this tournament, but just the last 15 years or so is incredible.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things when you think about the consistency of even Penn State, Augsburg, Wartburg, Central Oklahoma, St. Cloud State, Nebraska Kearney, like some of those, they're never out of the top 5 ever.
Right.
I think Iowa Central would fall into that category. I think, they're just, and now Indian Hills, once again, congratulations to Cole Spree and his staff. But, it takes so much in order to be at that level of consistency. Like you're always doing the job. So it's, and as I think, Mitchell alluded to when he was talking about he wanted to challenge himself and do something else. Wrestling coaching at the collegiate level is difficult. It's taxing. It's you're working for peanuts, but you don't do it for the money. You do it for the kids, and all that is a part of the process. But it's amazing to see how consistent the kids continue to show up, and they're the ones that score the points, right? So they buy into the culture, they buy into the program, they buy into like what we're preaching. So, and it's just new names and new faces and different stories every year. Every team is different, and that's the magic of what these things have. So like, just to toot our own horn, like we had 7 guys that had never wore a Grandview singlet at the national tournament this year.
It bodes well for the future for you guys. Yeah, I mean,
brand new, right? Or like guys that were like 5th-year senior guys. One of them was Easton Larson. He's a kid from Don Bosco, Gilbertville. He was an 11 seed, ended up getting 4th. Had an amazing tournament, wrestled his tail off. Took the national championship or national champion to Deepwater, lost 8-7, like in the semifinals. Like really great tournament. Out wrestled his seed. We all knew he was really good, but just to have him have that tournament, as you guys have probably thousands of these stories, but it's most recent for me. He wrestled above his seed, went out on top, senior. He's going to go off and do amazing things as a professional, but great season for him. And just one of those things where you're like, he 5th-year guy finally got an opportunity and he made the most of it. And he's now going to be an All-American forever with Grandview Wrestling.
Yeah, I saw a social media post that said, you know, one of the cool things in life is when you see somebody 15 years later and they still call you coach. And that's probably, well, that is true. You know, like there's people, you know, I don't want to we got a bunch of wrestling to talk about. But anyway, I know there's a lot of people that continue to have a deep respect for Mark and my dad. I'm actually coaching with my dad at the All Metro meet tonight. And hopefully a couple guys that still call me coach, but just a massive level of respect. And I think, Mark, you know, you and I have done the non-D1 grind for a long time. So shout out to all those programs that wrestled this week in NAI, JUCO, the women's tournament, the D3 tournament, D2s are this weekend. But shout out for those schools that grind without the limelight.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky enough to go in and watch Grandview practice, and this is probably three or 4 years ago. Just popped in, talked to Grant, got to sit and watch the team practice, and you know, to watch the coaching staff interact with the kids, the discipline within the program. Somebody left a towel on the floor. I don't know who did it. Somebody left the towel on the floor. Coach had a 3-minute talk about respecting what we have. We don't leave things on the floor. We have to respect what we have. Things like that, the discipline that a program has is what makes it great, because those kids, when they said that, they understood what he was talking about. And that's real coaching.
Well, and it's how you do anything versus how, you know, it's how you do everything. There's one towel on the floor, not 30. Like there's a bunch of things that go with that. But anyway, sincere congrats to all those programs. All right. I was at the Big 12s this weekend. I'm going to give some financial advice. Jax, whatever money you're getting, ask for more. Jax is the mayor of Stillwater, guys. It's not David Taylor. They love that kid. And by the way, Tulsa does an outstanding job of hosting this meet. It's a freaking home meet. And I had 4 coaches come up to me and say, after 28, this is rotating, which every other conference in America rotates. Which whether it will rotate between all 12 or 14 schools, there was a rumor it's going to rotate between the 6 legacy schools, so like Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, West Virginia, Arizona State. There's a 6th one that's just not on the top of my head right now. But anyway.
UNI?
No, because they're a MAC school.
Okay.
Well, the only other one that they could possibly do would be a Mizzou, because they're SEC, but they're prior.
That's the other one, because if they let OU in because they're SEC, then they have to let Mizzou in as a host. That's right. Yep. Thank you. Can't believe of all the schools I forgot it was the Missouri one.
I'm going to let everybody in Missouri know for sure. Big tweet happening. Dave forgot.
And I forgot the black and gold. This is not good. So I don't know if you guys want to go through this by conference. I mean, but I think maybe by weight class, or do you want to go conference? maybe by weight, that way it's easier to sort of talk about.
Sure.
Yeah,
And
we
so
can do weight classes and we can kind of
blend them together. Yeah. So ACC, we're just going to focus on 3 conferences because that's where most of the big placer guys are. And then we'll talk about where this impacts the rankings. But ACC, Ventresca over Provo. Provo beat V-Rob in the semis. I will mention Sheldon Seymour won, and he's undefeated. Luke Lillidow over Yori Volk. Yori Volk beat Buzakis in the semis. Spratley over Poulin. So, honestly, out of all that, guys, the only thing that was somewhat surprising was Yori Volk beating Buzakis. And I think the thing that was the most surprising to me was the semis were Friday night. Okay. They were Friday at 6 Central Time, and the Big 10, 12 semis were fine. Semis were at 7. So I was on Media Row with my phone watching all that kind of stuff. So I was just shocked at how big Volk looked versus Buzakis. Like, he looks just as big, if not bigger. And the other sort of story out of the Big 12s was Zeke Witt beat Strickenberger twice on the front and the back for third. So let's talk about, there's other weights where we'll have a bunch more reactions. The only thing that was sort of moderately surprising to me was Provo beating Vince Robinson, even though he was seated ahead of him, and then the Yori Volk match. Any other surprise reactions from you guys before we get into what we think the seeds are going to look like?
I think everything spoke for itself.
Yeah, there's some other weights that are different, so we'll keep it moving. So we think Luke is the one. Mark, give me your 2, 3, 4 between Ventresca. I don't think it's Buzakis anymore. Give me 2. Are we agreeing that Ventresca and Seymour now 2 and 3 in some order?
Yes.
Okay. Does
Spratley goes to 4, I think, and then I think you're going to have. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think they may seed Volk over Buzakis at 5, and then Buzakis would be 6.
And then Steve, well, I don't think that can happen. Here's where I think that might all be a mess. Vincent Robinson beat Spratley head-to-head.
Yeah, but that was early in the year.
It doesn't matter. It's head-to-head is the formula. The formula has nothing to do with time of year.
We'll see.
Unless it's 1-1, correct? Whoever won
yes,
last.
but head-to-head is if, like, there's 25 points. So if you beat me, I beat you early and you beat me late, then the points are 12.5. But if you beat me early and it doesn't matter how good my season is on the head-to-head, it's 25-0.
But didn't Spratley beat Ventresca the last time they wrestled?
No, Ventresca beat Spratley.
Okay.
In the duel.
Okay.
So that's where it gets really tricky. Like, I didn't think you were going to go Spratley to 4. I feel like it's going to be Luke 1, Seymour 2, Ventresca 3. I think there's a chance Nico Provo's 4. Because Provo beat Spratley and Provo beat V-Rob twice and V-Rob beat Spratley. And then Yori Volk's got to get sprinkled in there. He could be 4, he could be 5, he could be 6. And then Buzakis, like, it's going to be I think it's going to be a little surprising from what people think. I can't wait to get to 33 because 33 is going to be awesome to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's get there. Seidel wins the ACC by tech. Literally no surprise there. We'll just look at the rankings. It's easier. Bird takes 5th at the Big Tens. Davino takes 1st. Blaze takes 2nd. Help me here. I'm sorry. Who was 3rd at the Big Tens? Was it
Ayala?
Ayala
was 3rd. Bird was
5th.
Fugit
was 4th.
Who was 4th? Fugit. Yeah, Fugit was 4th. Jeez. But Ayala beat Fugit. Or not Ayala. But Bird didn't wrestle. Okay. All right, let's start over. Bird 5th. Blaze 2nd. Loses to Davino in overtime. Davino was 1st. Frost did not wrestle, which is massive in this. Jax wins the Big 12s. Larkin was second. Seidel first ACC. Ayala second. I'm sorry, Knox second ACC. Drake third Big 10s.
Third.
Okay, Mark, we're probably going to disagree on this. Who do you have top 4?
I got Davino number 1, just because the strength of the conference and who he's wrestled. I think it's going to be probably Jax 2, and I think Blaze is going to be 3. I would probably put Seidel at 4, and then it's just an absolute cluster. You know what? Because everybody's beating everybody, but I think those are your top 4. Wherever the other guy lands, I don't really have a major issue. I think Drake's going to be probably 5 or 6.
Okay, so let me just point a couple things out. Jax he doesn't have 15 matches, so on 10% of the formula, he loses to everybody. Ayala is going to lose to everybody on winning percentage. Like he was like 9-6 coming into the tournament, something crazy. And Bird was undefeated and took 2 losses. And then Frost is not in this. So I'm going to go Davino 1, Blaze 2, Jax 3. Normally 2 and 3 don't matter, but I think they're going to matter because of where everybody else is. I agree with you, Seidel 4. I think there's a chance that I think Larkin is 5 because of winning percentage. And then I think Tyler Knox or Bird. I think Tyler Knox is 6, Ayala 7, Bird is 8.
Okay.
Which sets up Bird, Davino. I mean, once the brackets come out, but there'll be some awesome matches. And I haven't counted Fugit. Van D was out of that mix, and Serrano went 0-2 and needs a wild card. So everybody wants to see these certain matchups at this weight. Like, I'm doing the blog for Intermat. GT, I know you'll be there. Mark, I know you'll be camped out in front of TVs. Quarterfinals, Friday morning, assuming seeds hold. Do not go to the bathroom. Like, you cannot miss 133.
Yep.
You cannot miss 133. Okay, 41. Okay, Mendez wins Big 10s. Vega beats Echemendia, Big 12s. Brock Hardy runner-up Big 10s. Stanich wins EIWAs. Joey Oliveri way down the line. He'll fall out. Cornella, I believe, was second EIWAs, or first Ivies, excuse me. Vombar, Composto, I don't think, like Consiglio wins. First time I saw him wrestle all year. He wins ACCs. Nasir Bailey third. Simcox was second. So, Mark, tell me if you think I got this right. Well, here's the top. The top 5 are in that order, except Stanich moves up, I believe, to third.
Agreed.
So if you're not looking at this, we have Mendez 1, Vega 2, Stanich 3, Echemendia 4, Brock Hardy 5.
Yep.
Probably Cornella 6 or Vombar. Nasir Bailey.
Going to drop down a little bit further, I think.
Who was 4th at the Big Tens? Do we remember?
Vombar.
Yeah.
He lost to Iowa.
Nasir Bailey. Yeah.
Yep.
But he could still be in there because if he has a head-to-head with them from earlier in the year, then it's a split.
Yep, it is.
Okay, so I think Vombar stays above him based on body of work, but I could be wrong. So what's really interesting then is Echemendia Hardy's a quarterfinal, if we're right. And Stanich Vega, which we'll talk about more next week, but is a very interesting stylistic matchup because it does not feel like I'll tell you this. At 41, what shocked me about the Big 12 final was Echemendia picked down and got out twice against Vega. He just lost on the amount of riding time in the ride outs. there was two things that changed. He picked down and got out, and Vega was way more active on his feet. Echemendia was way less active and wasn't able to get to the stalling calls. Okay, 49. Good luck with this one. Okay, Van Ness wins the Big Tens and almost didn't make it out of the quarterfinals. He wins 5-4 with 4 stalling points. Say it again, Mark.
It was crazy, absolutely crazy. There's 2 matches. I still can't figure out how he won either one of them, to be honest with you, because he was down 2 takedowns to none in the first period against Michigan, Grant's buddy,
Lachlan
McNeil took him down twice, just like it was nothing. He was just carving him up. And then for some reason, Shane Van Ness, second period, turns the motor up, and guys just want to back off. And they start calling stalling like, they're giving out gumballs out of a machine, So I don't know why that's happening, because these kids are in great shape at this time of the year. They really are.
Caleb Tyus loses, which screws up everything. Screws up everything. Let me pull this up because I want to make sure I got this right. I need to pull up the Ivy results. Do we know just for sure if Jackson Joy won while I'm looking this up?
At this weight, who knows? I would imagine he won.
Jackson Joy won. He beat Wazalewski in the finals.
Okay.
Cornello won. He beat Composto in the finals. Ferreira won it. He beat Magulian in the finals. Okay. So Shane Ness stays 1. Caleb Tyus drops. Jackson Joy moves up. Coy Biskins drops. Carter Young can't be there. He took 4th. Colin Guy. He won the ACCs, right?
Yep.
And he beat Biskins. Ethan This is nuts because Wasilewski just took 2nd in the Ivies. Ethan Stiles took 2nd in the Big Tens, but lost head-to-head to Caleb Tyus. Aiden Valencia takes 3rd in the ACC. Casey Swiderski wins the Big 12s, but has also lost head-to-head to Caleb Tyus. Am I crazy, or could Caleb Tyus only drop to 3?
Caleb Tyus.
Say it again, GT.
Who beat Caleb Tyus?
I'll pull it up.
Somebody you'd never heard of.
Well, Bo Bassett beat him.
I would love to make sure that whoever beat Caleb Tyus gets a little bit of a shout out here. I just don't know who did it.
Well, he lost to the kid from Ryder. Hold on. I'm pulling up WrestleStat.
I thought it was American.
Well, you might be right. Hold on. Caleb Tyus. Holy crap. They almost said another word. He dropped from 2nd to 12th on WrestleStat. He lost to Lockhaven, Lucas Capusta.
Where's Lucas at? Is he in the top 10?
No, he's 20. He's 21 on WrestleStat.
Okay, yeah.
He is. Hold on. He's 26 here.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be tough to. I don't think. No.
And just to screw it up even more, Jacob Frost lost to Rachi.
Rachi.
By the way, we did get GT. I did get AL to say change it from Rathjen to Rachi on the PA.
Good.
I don't really like picking this weight. I have no idea what anybody's gonna do.
No, I'm not picking who's going to win. That's another podcast.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, even putting the seeds in, it's so confusing with what's going on. I'm guessing Van Ness is going to be 1. Joy will be 2.
I think Colin Guy's 3.
Okay. Styles 4.
Styles can't be 4. He lost to Caleb Tyus.
Doesn't mean he can't be.
It's 25% of the formula.
Yeah, but look at who he lost to, the 26th ranked guy.
Okay, listen. Here's where it's 25% of the formula he loses. He loses winning percentage, and it's a push on conference placement. The way he can get it back is coach's vote. But it might be within the margins where then the seating committee just says, we don't care if he lost to him, we're putting him ahead of him.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really close. GT, you're going to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just, once again, this is probably something for the average fan. What we're talking about, kind of the percentages and some of these other things that we're discussing, is that like truly, if let's say we put it into the computer system and it pops out something, we can be like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I think we would need to kind of see what that program kind of spits out, because right now, like the percentage of like winning percentage versus head to head versus this conference champ, all those things kind of add up. And you're like, well, I mean, I think for the most part, guys, I think we're pretty getting close. I think Shane Van Ness, Jackson Joy, Colin Guy.
But then it's chaos.
Then we think, in my personal opinion, I think like I would probably put Biskins 4. But I mean, that's just my own, like, just stab in the dark. But like, I don't know about all of the specifics of whatever, because Biskins has been really good pretty much the entire season. But like, I understand like Carter Young had a bad, or not necessarily a great Big Ten, but
wasn't bad though.
So
you got fourth.
Yeah.
Still not, but like Lachlan McNeil he's a monster, and he beat him, basically 1-0, but it's still a loss.
Yeah.
Here's a post about the rubric. It says some categories allow partial separation, some are winner take all, some provide no separation if tied. That's intentional. Seating criteria on how each one is scored. Head to head, 25%. If you go 1-0, you get 25. If it's 2-1, you get 16 2/3. The other guy gets 8 1/3. And if you split, you each get 12.5. Quality wins. This category is intentionally flexible and subjective. It measures resume depth, not just a raw count. Possible outcomes: 20-0, 15-5, 10-10. Overwhelming advantage, one is better or equal. Quality wins is determined as a win over any other wrestler who qualified for the NCAA Championships. So in other words, if I beat the 32 guy and you beat the 1 guy, it's the same. Coaches ranking. This is an ordinal comparison. Possible outcomes: 15-0 or 7.5, 7.5. This 7.5, 7.5, if rankings do not meaningfully separate them, the word meaningfully is about as clear as reaction time.
Yep.
So RPI, binary comparison, possible outcomes. Higher RPI, 10-0, 0-0 if it does not separate them, but that's very rare. Conference finish, binary. Possible outcomes, higher placement at the conference tournament, same placement. Okay, so, and then winning percentage is binary, and common opponents is binary, and those are all 10-0, 10-0. So if you go back and you look at Caleb Tyus, he's something in 1. So he's going to beat everybody but Shane Van Ness on winning percentage. Here's what's crazy. He's over Styles he's tied with Styles in the conference. Styles probably going to win RPI, so that makes it even. Common opponents say Styles wins. He's up 10%. Coaches ranking, he's up 15%. Quality wins are going to be tied, and it's going to be head to head. And he should be like, that's one of the ones. If I go through this math, it almost feels like they're dead even.
Yeah.
So if I were watching this podcast, I would want a prediction. So I'm going to make a prediction, but I don't feel very good about it. Mark, do you want to predict this, or you just want me to?
You can predict it, and then I'll tell you if I agree or disagree.
And by the way, I think Casey Swiderski is wrestling the best he's wrestled all year. Yep. Van Ness 1, Jackson Joy 2, Colin Guy 3. I'm going to say Styles 4, Caleb Tyus 5, Biskin 6, Swiderski 7, Carter Young 8, Cross Wazalewski 9.
I think I would take Swiderski over Biskins.
He can. It's head to head.
I still think that's what I would do. I don't know.
What you would do or what you think they're going to do?
What I think they're going to do. I think he's going to, because he won the conference, we'll give him the upgrade.
Well, again,
I got to think that somebody's thinking, but how are they wrestling right now? And like you said, Swiderski's wrestling as good as any 49-pounder in the country right now. He should get some credit for that.
The formula does not allow credit for that.
Yeah, I think it should.
Again, Mark, this is not what we would do. We're trying to actually pick what they're going to do. So anyway, 57.
Burn the system down. Start over.
What now?
I said, let's burn the system down. Let's start over.
Hey, by the way, we are going to have the rubric for next year. We're going to know the rubric as it's happening. I'm working with guys now. So that might be a Nike presents the rubric, GT, just FYI. So, okay, Meyer Shapiro decides can't stand prosperity, loses to Jude Swisher. Brandon Cannon wrestled guys, and he looked really good. He took third, right? No, he took fourth. He lost to Cannon Webster, and PJ Duke put it on him, but he still wrestled really well. Antrell Taylor got killed by PJ Duke. PJ Duke wins. Caleb Larkin beats Robideau in the finals of the Big 12s. Ty Waters was third. Vinny Serban got a concussion. He got concussed in round 1. Went to protocol, came back, finished the last 20 seconds of the match, and then defaulted out. Cardenas wins the ACC. Cannon Webster was third in the Big 10. Swisher was second in the Ivy. Ethan Miller was second in the ACC. Okay. Mark, you want to take a shot at this?
Can you tell me who Swisher lost to in the Ivy?
He didn't lose to anybody in the Ivy.
You said he got second in the Ivy.
He took first in the Ivy. I apologize. He beat.
All right. That's what I was wondering. I thought
no. He beat Shapiro.
Okay. All right. Let me take a stab at this. I'm going to say PJ Duke will be your number 1 seed at the national tournament. I think Caleb Larkin will be your number 2 seed. I think Antrell will be 3. Shapiro will be 4. Cannon will be 5. Robideau 6. Cardenas 7. Waters or Webster. I'm going to go Waters 8, Webster 9.
Did you have Jude Swisher in here at all?
I didn't.
So Jude Swisher is 20-something and 3 here. 20 and 3. He split with Meyer Shapiro. He lost to Daniel Cardenas. He lost to Wojlewski. He has beaten Jimmy Harrington, Kai Owen. He's wrestled no one in the top 15.
Yep.
What a weird resume. Okay. You said, I'm sorry, I was reading, so you tell me if we're agreeing so far. PJ Duke 1?
Yep.
Larkin 2?
Yep.
Antrell 3?
Yep.
Who'd you have 4?
Shapiro.
I guess that's right. And we don't have Zerbin in here now, and like that, he doesn't really have real losses.
No, I got Cannon 5, which I think is pretty fair.
Cannon 5 over Cannon Webster?
Mm-hmm.
I think Cannon Webster's over Cannon.
Well, then I think you have to move Cardenas up to 5 and then put Webster. That's what's going to – and what about Robideau? He's had a great year.
No. Okay, we have Duke, Larkin, Antrell, and Shapiro. So now it's best of the rest.
Yep.
I think it's Robideau.
Okay.
What a insane bracket.
Hey, all of these dudes in the top 10 are monsters.
Yes.
like absolute killers. Like the fact that like Cannon Webster could be a 10, or I mean ranked 10th in the nation right now, or a 10 seed, getting third in the Big Tens is bananas.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, that guy, I mean, and once again, I think that we both agree that the Big Ten at 157 is pretty much the premier conference at that weight.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, I think that the premier.
It's got a brand new Penn State guy. I mean, PJ Duke mauled Antrell Taylor and got O-Dub.
He looks so good.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
I mean, also Brandon Cannon was ranked number 1 for majority of the season.
Right.
So
and Antrell's been known to just muscle guys and toss them right to their back and do this to pretty much have his way with. He did not look like the strongest of the two guys out there. PJ Duke was throwing him around physically. So,
yeah. All right, 65. This was fun. Messenbrink wins. Blaze loses to Rutgers in the quarters. Caliendo takes second. D. Lockett takes second to Nico Ruiz. Maddie Bianchi gets upset in the Pac-12. Ryder Downey doesn't make the finals of the Big Ten. LJ Aruhau does not wrestle to his seed. Will Denny loses in the finals of the ACC. Scholes, I think, took 8th or DNP'd. I mean, this is another weight that's chaos. Max Mayfield went 0-2. So that's fun. I think Hepner won the ACC. Does that sound right?
I'll pull it up. I think he did. Hepner beat Church 2-0.
What did Newton do in the Big 12?
Hold on, wait. Hepner beat who?
Church from Virginia Tech.
In the finals?
Correct.
Will Denny took 4th?
Will Denny took 4th.
Oh, my God.
So Will Denny got beat 10-3 in the semifinals by Hepner. Goes to the 3rd and 4th, or basically comes to the backside, wins 6-3 over Murphy from Virginia. Goes to the 3rd and 4th place match and gets beat 5-1 by Parco from Stanford.
Okay. All right. Chaos. Mitchell Messenbrink is 1. Caliendo is 2.
I think Blaze is 3.
Is there an argument for Nico Ruiz?
Not really. I like Nico. I picked him at being an All-American, but he's got some losses that don't make a lot of sense. Blaze has got 1 loss this year.
Yeah, I agree. He's lost to Gilcher, Brignola, Joey Blaze, so for sure. Ryder Downey, Caesar Alvan's the weird one. I mean, there's a couple weird ones. Okay, so Blaze is 3. Who's 4? Does Lockett stay 4?
Grant?
Looking.
My vote is yes.
I think Lockett is either 4 or 5. Matt Bianchi is not. Ryder Downey is not. Arujau is not. Will Denning is not. Scholes ended up getting
8th or something crazy.
Yeah, he got 8th because he medically forfeited to Gallagher for 7th and 8th. So he's
Ruiz and Lockett are next.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd have to probably give it to Ruiz at 4, D-Lock at 5, because, once again, he just beat him.
Yeah. And then I don't even know who's next because Bianchi lost, Downey lost, Aruhau lost, Will Denny lost, Scholes lost.
It'd be lost. He's had a really good year.
Who?
Bianchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and I watched that match. What a match.
Who, the Bianchi match?
Yeah, against Cal Poly. This kid went up a weight class just to wrestle for the team. Wasn't even the starter at that weight. And he's got some junk, and he put him to his back on a real questionable call, and he got the takedown off of Bianchi's shot, went in on a single, and he kind of locked up both arms and kind of held him in a position off the edge of the mat. And then Bianchi high bridged and kept going back and finally got out of bounds. They gave him 2 and 3 near fall, and that was the difference.
So Bianchi's got wins over Scholes, Tyler Lillard, Gunnar Filipowicz. I'm trying to name guys that I think might be national qualifiers for quality wins. Brock Woodcock lost to Lockett, and then he split with the Cal Poly kid.
Didn't Sparks get third, David, for the Big Ten? He looked pretty good.
I don't know. I have to pull
You're talking about at 165?
Yeah, Sparks got fourth.
Sparks got fifth. It was Blaze and Rouge out for third and fourth.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
He beat Barbosa for sixth.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's Messenbrink, Caliendo, Blaze, Lockett / Ruiz. Maybe Bianchi drops to 6. I think Arujo probably moves up to 7. And then I think it's just a mess between Ryder Downey, Will Denny, Braden Scholes. You know, Brignola's got a head-to-head over freaking Antrell Taylor. And Andrew Sparks is going to move up over Scholes for sure. And Patty Gallagher might.
Yep.
Max Mayfield went 0-2, so that's fine.
And the winner of the ACC could move up also and get like a 9-10 seed.
Hepner kid?
Yeah, you want it.
Yeah. You wonder if you can jump that far, but then I say that and Ruiz is going to jump from 11 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. 74. Levi wins. He's the 1. Simon Ruiz wins. He's the 2. Christopher Minto takes 2nd. I think he's the 3rd seed. Who was 3rd in the Big Tens?
Karsla.
He was? He beat Michigan?
He beat Iowa.
He beat PK 7-3. Montanona beat Pinto for 5th and 6th. And Kelly beat Bauman for 7th and 8th.
Okay. Levi 1. Simon Ruiz 2. Christopher Minto 3. PK 4, or maybe Matty Singleton.
No, I think it's Karsla 4. He beat him.
Oh, Karchler's 4. Sorry. And then PK is 5 or Singleton's 5?
Singleton win the conference?
Yes.
Yep.
I'd put Singleton at 5, put PK at 6.
Okay, now I think it goes to 7.
Who goes to 7?
Steed, maybe?
No, it said Cam Steed goes to 7.
Yeah, I would agree. He won the conference.
Facundo, Beaumont are 8, 9. Carter Schubert's 10.
Yeah, that's great. We should do the seeds. That's good. I like what you said there. Makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, all right.
I just want to burn it all down. I'm going to disagree with all of you guys. I think it's horrible. Good job.
So you're thinking Minto should be the number 1 because he's only lost twice to Haynes this year? Like the Big Ten decided to do the seeds?
Nope. I just want to burn everything down and just make sure you guys question everything until you do it again.
We've already questioning our lives about 33 and 57 for enough. We're good.
I saw the gears turning in David's mind. He's like, this is bananas. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's not great. Hold on a second. I got to get to 84 here and I have to pull something up. So, okay.
I think 84 when it comes to the top 4 are going to be pretty. I think it'll be a lot more clear cut.
We'll see. Here we go. Rocco Welsh wins. He's the 1. For Sinclair wins the Big 12 and has a head-to-head over Max McAnally. He's 2. Max McAnally is 3. GT, who's your 4?
So we got Welsh, Sinclair, McAnally.
Yes.
Did Conway win his conference?
No.
Okay.
He lost to American. That's the guy that lost to American.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who you like, Grant?
So let me just give people some. Ferrari took 8th. Conway took 2nd. Allred and Mantanona wrestled for 3rd and 4th. Is that correct?
No, Mantanona beat Moore in overtime.
Illinois.
And then Allred medically forfeited to Cartagena Walsh
For
for
6th.
5th and 6th.
Okay, so Mantanona was 3rd.
Fishbach was 8th.
Zach Ryder was 8th. Eddie
Well, they're right next to each other. Yeah. Cool.
Eddie Nietenbach took 2nd, and Isaac Dean defaulted to 6th.
I could see Montanona getting the 4 seed.
This one's crazy to me.
But, I mean, he's at 7. It's not that big of a leap to get to 4. I mean, with basically outplacing Ferrari at Big Tens, he outplaced Silas Allred. James Conway lost. I think Montanona is your 4.
So Brock Mance, your 4.
Yep.
And then Allred, your 5.
I think I'll go scroll down from 11 to 15. Nietenbach, Dean.
Nietenbach was runner-up.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Where is Angelo Ferrari going to get put in the bracket? Because he took 8th in the regional or the qualifier, which was enough to qualify, but he doesn't have 15 matches.
He's got to be like a 10, 11 seed. Or do you think he can even get that high?
That's what's crazy. I don't know. And like Zach Ryder, how far does he fall? Like he did just enough to get in and he's got a shoulder injury. And like, is he like a 16 seed now? But I listen, this is my bias. I never thought Zach Ryder was that good. And I thought Angelo Ferrari was good enough to win it. And he was super close in the quarters with Rocco Welsh.
Wow.
I think Nietenbach needs to be probably in like the 8 or 7 seed spot.
I think 4 through 10 here is absolutely fascinating.
100%.
Yep.
It's just, and it's, I don't see anybody coming from way back getting up here. It's just a reshuffle of the deck. If seeds hold, we're going to have Sinclair, McAnally, semi. I feel like it would be really unfair if Ferrari is 6, 7.
Unfair to who, David?
To Sinclair and McAnally, that they one of them would have to go through that guy, have to go through 2 of those guys to make the finals. I'm just saying this, and this is just my judgment. I think the 4 best guys are Welsh, Sinclair, McAnally, Ferrari. I think it'd be unfair for Ferrari to be on the bottom half of the bracket. That's all I'm saying. But Ferrari to be on the top half of the bracket, he has to be 4, 5, 8, 9, or 16. So I think it's much more likely mathematically he's on the bottom of the bracket. Because I don't think he's going to be 4 or 5.
But
I
he
mean,
could be 8 or 9.
I'm sorry?
8 or 9.
He could be 12. Wait a minute. He could be 12 or 13. That's probably where they should put him. Because 12 draws into 5.
13 draws 4.
That's right. And it's this, and then if he came out, it's him and Welsh in the semi. That's the fairest spot to put him. 12, 13. Okay. 97. Josh Barr annihilates everybody. Rocky Elam gets through. Novak's the runner-up. Stephen Little won, I believe, Pac-12s. Cody Merrill lost to Novak, took 3rd. Rademacher was 2nd to Stephen Little. Posada lost to Sonny Sasso.
Yep. got majored.
Yeah. Bergie, I think, took 4th in the Big 12s. Okay.
Bergie got 6th.
6th. Who was 4th?
It went
Parker
from OU, and then Colton Hawks
Yeah.
got 6th. Bergie got 5th.
Yes. Colton Hawks stole a spot. Okay, guys, tell me if I got this right. Josh Barr's 1, Rocky Elam's 2, Joey Novak's 3, Stephen Little is 4. I'm going to curveball you. I think Sonny Sasso is 5. Here's my argument. He won his conference, and he has a head-to-head over Cody Merrill.
I'm good with it.
I think Cody Merrill's 6, Justin Rademacher 7. I think Cam McDaniel or Posada are 8, 9.
And maxed out is like 10 or 11 because he lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark?
I agree.
Okay. 285. Bastida wins. Trumbull wins. Ferrari takes 2nd. Gaudiali takes 1st. Mirasola took 5th, I believe. Feldman took 3rd. Doucette took 2nd. Christian Carroll went 0-2. Keeter took 4th. Braxton Amos was in the 5th and 6th place match. So let's try to do this. Bastida's 1, Trumbull's 2, Gaudiali's 3, Ferrari's 4, Feldman's 5, Mirasola's 6, Doucette. I'm sorry, maybe Mirasola's 6, Keeter 7, Doucette 8, but Doucette could be 6 above Mirasola and Keeter. Braxton Amos 9, and then probably Coy Hopke or some. Nathan Taylor's probably 10 because he won his conference. And Christian Carroll drops pretty dramatically.
Cool with it.
I think Keeter's going to be seated over Mirasola because he beat him heads up at Big Tens, David. So they've split, and he won the last one. So
the last one doesn't mean anything.
Oh, really? I thought if you wrestled twice, whoever won the last one has more validity.
No, the head-to-head's 12.5 then.
Okay.
But in the coaches' ranking, he would be above him, probably.
Yeah.
So we agree. Bastida's 1, Trumbull's 2, Gaudiali's 3, Ferrari's 4.
Correct. Feldman should be
5.
Yeah.
So that puts Ferrari-Feldman quarterfinal.
And I think Doucette could be 6, and then I would probably go with Keeter 7 and Mirasola 8. That's how I'd look at it.
Yeah. So we're not making picks today for anything because we don't know the brackets, obviously. Tonight, the wild cards come out. Hashtag free Teague Travis. The brackets come out tomorrow. I'm sure we'll do a pod. GT, maybe now that you're not in season, maybe we can do a pod on Thursday or Friday and do initial bracket reactions.
That would be nice to have Grant go through the brackets with us because he actually sees brackets every weekend because he's coaching, and we just have to look him up on his input would help me plenty. Grant, do you want me to help you in any of your contests? Because I seem to help David.
Well,
what's funny? Hey, GT, just so you know, Mark's a coward. He won't put his name on anything. He'll just let me win the regular season contest, say he helped, me win the Big Ten contest, and he helped. He's got a trophy at his house that we split.
David, did I help you on both of those?
I just said you're a coward. You help and won't put your name on anything.
I'm not a coward.
I literally said you helped.
I put my information in with you, and then you win, and I just sit back and congratulate you. That's what I do. I want to help Grant now. I'm done with you. Grant, you need some help?
Hey, I'm never gonna not have help. You know what? Talent acquisition. I'm gonna take everybody away from David. Every single person that's been helping him for years, I'm gonna call up Earl, Willie. I'm like, all right, dude, let's make this a recruiting battle now.
I'm gonna see all my ex-friends head to toe Nike'd up. I don't know what happened.
Grant, Friday, 9:00 in the morning. We'll go through the brackets. I'll get you get you the fantasy championship this year.
You see Mark walking around with some brand new Air Force Ones. There's going to be signs.
Yep.
He's J'd up.
Love it.
All right. Well, I think if it works, we'll go Thursday. I mean, that'd be good. Bracket reaction. GT, does that work for you?
Thursday will work.
Marco, you know what the strain, you'll let us know?
No. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. I think that'll be fun. That's better than Wednesday night. So a lot to look forward to. By the way, I'm trying to think of, there's somebody who put out a great, let me look at this real quick. Hold on.
The one thing I didn't get a mention during this podcast, David, and I'd like to mention it while we're on air still, is that I did figure out Gabe Arnold can lose in overtime at whatever weight he goes to.
And win in overtime.
And win in overtime.
Let's be positive people.
Yeah. It's
He
amazing.
He qualified.
174 pounder, wrestled 197, and was still wrestling overtime matches is phenomenal.
Okay, the College Wrestling Report on Twitter put out how many bids are available at each weight and the top contenders for each one, and graphically. Like it's, this one has a screenshot of 57 to T. Travis's uncle, and it has the RPI, the coach's rank, and then their rank. So, for example, this one has Vinny Zerban, Teague Travis, Dylan Evans, Mason Schrader, Ace, Anthony White, etc. So, I mean, there's a couple guys that for sure are going to get ones like Serrano, Vinny Zerban, but that's what this is for, that if you get hurt, you have a bad tournament, you get in.
Yep.
And just so people know, if you're one of the last four, that does not make you the 29 to 33 seed, 30 to 30 at nationals. This is just if you get in, then you get ran in the rubric against everybody else. So, all right. For Mark and GT, I'm David. We appreciate you guys watching and listening. Please keep subscribing, telling other people, and we will see you guys Thursday.